A man on social media has advised herdsmen to obtain lands to rear their cattle because southern farms want peace. A man called FS Yusuf, who is also a social media activist, has gone out to his Twitter handle to write to the Minister of Justice, Malami, senior advocate of Nigeria, to advise herdsmen to obtain lands to rear their cattle in order for peace and progress to reign for the southern farmers. According to FS Yusuf, it says, "Dear Malami, Igbo traders selling spare parts in the north rent or build their shops. They don't carry arms around and cause unrest. Since open grazing has proven unworkable, advise herdsmen to obtain lands to rear their cattle because southern farms want peace and progress." According to this tweet, this person is replying Malami concerning what he said during an interview. Malami said the open grazing ban that is banned on herdsmen is uncalled for, that is not acceptable by the northern elders. The reason being that if the northern governors also ban spare part business in the northern part, because they know that the Igbos and the southeasterns are the ones indulging in spare part business. They are the one doing spare part business. Now he said, what if the governors of those states now comes together and have meeting to ban spare part business? So many people have been reacting towards that. Why will Malami say such a thing? Is it cow rearing or cattle rearing that is being banned? Nobody banned cattle rearing. They only said they should stop open grazing, and which means stop parading your cattle or your cow all over the streets of the southeastern state, or parading your cow all over the farmlands of innocent farmers, disrupting their farm, doing all sorts of things in their farm. So FS Yusuf has generated a tweet by saying, "Dear Malami, it is the right of the southern governors to ban open grazing because they are causing mayhem in the country. But in other words, the herdsmen should also buy land and rear their cattle. They should stop parading their cattle all over the place." That's why FS Yusuf is saying Igbo traders selling spare parts in the north, they also rent their shops or build their shops to sell spare parts. So many reactions have been trailing towards what he has just said. Government has to provide security for each and every Nigeria. Well, if government is going to provide security for each and every Nigeria, but you first do the needful. Though the issue of Fulani herdsmen and southern has become a threat to the southern farmers, now it's limiting them to put their maximum effort to produce their food for a living. But FS Yusuf went to his social media page to remind Malami, saying that the Igbo traders selling spare parts in the north rent and build their shops, and they don't carry arms around and cause unrest. Since open grazing is now unworkable, then the herdsmen are to be advised to rear their cattle for the southern farmers to obtain peace and progress in their farm activities. Though what he said is seen to be true, even though he is a Muslim, but he doesn't support the evil deeds of the herdsmen harming southern farmers. After sharing this post, here are some reactions of Twitter user below. So many people have been reacting that why would Malami, chief of staff in FCT, mention such statement, or advising the governors in the north to ban spare part business, because they know that the Igbos are the one venturing into such business. Say, what if the governors of the north now say they want to ban spare part business because these Igbos are the ones doing the business? But this is very different from what is being happening, or what has been happening in the southeast by the herdsmen. The herdsmen indulge in kidnapping, banditry, carrying AK-47. Meanwhile, the Igbos don't carry AK-47. They are peaceful businessmen. doing their business, even renting shops, paying their tax. Some even build shops and pay their tax also. But in the issue of these herdsmen, they don't have a farmland, they don't buy or rent a land. Instead, they just bring their cattle, go to people's land or people's farm, start parading their cows. So let's read some of the comments, or the tweet under what Yusuf have just said. Well, somebody says, it's Dr. PD. They can do open grazing up north for all we care. They should just keep those primitive ways out of the south. Well, according to this person, he said the herdsmen should go back to the north. If they cannot abide by the rules by buying or leasing land, they should just go back to the north and do their open grazing for all he cares. Exactly. But will Malami listen? No, he wouldn't listen. Malami makes some comments that makes one question how emotional intelligence he is. How can he compare? He's comparing the egos that if you can ban spare part business, is he trying to form embers of war? Well, Malami makes some comments that makes one question how emotional intelligence he is. How can he compare herdsmen with people who pay bills for everything they enjoy? Have you seen any Aboki who rent shop in Lagos or rent land in Lagos, Abuja and Port Harcourt? That's the question. Well, somebody said government has to provide security for each and every Nigerian, and herdsmen is not a name of terrorists, or they have been terrorizing the lands of the southeastern part. Not even only southeast, south in general, even in the north they have been terrorizing, but it's just very rampant in the south. Some criminals are hidden under the guise of herdsmen or rearing cattle. Well, so many people have been reacting. A Fulani Janjaweed is always filled with evil mindset and terrorism. He only enjoys inflicting pains on people around him. This is a fact. Honestly, it's obvious both educated and uneducated Hausa Fulani reason the same way. The entitlement they got until Southerners take this war to north, their head will not reset. Well, at Yusuf, you are the first person north man I see reason well. According to this person, he said he's the first northern man that will reason very well. These people are just a joke. I couldn't stop shaking my head as I was listening to the interview. Nigeria is just a ticking time bomb with this bunch at the end of our fears. Honestly, I desire that the northern governors will ban spare parts trading and every southern business in the north. This will only facilitate the break of Nigeria we have been playing for. The audacity of this Goro trained semi-illiterate. This is a only animosity. Well, what are your takes on these reactions? Well, kindly subscribe and don't forget to share this news so that others can be aware. Thank you for listening and God bless you.